Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life with Marianne and Joe. Thanks for tuning in today. For those of you who just stumbled on me, my name is Joe, and this channel is all about life with Marianne and Joe, and decorating, our travels, and whatever we feel like doing. So I do a lot of seasonal decorating for those of you that don't know me, and today, for those of you that do know me, you know I promised you a little bit of Valentine's Day. I'm not a big fan of decorating for Valentine's Day. I kind of think it looks a little corny and elementary, and I'm not going overboard by far. I am just doing the mantle in this little area, just a little touch of Valentine's Day, and Marianne is not here right now, and I'm going to try to surprise her for when she comes home, which, to see what I did. I'm going to be working on the mantle right here. I'm going to make a Valentine mantle, and again, for those of you that don't know me, what I usually do is I have this heavy board that I put up here on my mantle, and this way I'm not going to destroy anything in my mantle like with nails. And we all know that 3M command hooks don't work. They don't hold things up. Sorry, they must have changed the formula for the glue or something, but they don't work. So what I do is I have this heavy board here, and for this application I'm going to be putting a couple of nails in the front over here so it holds my garland. I want my garland off of the mantle. I don't want it up here. And again, for those of you that know me, I'm like a broken record when I tell you this. This center of your television is what reads the remote. So if you go cuckoo over here, you're not going to be able to change your remote, and it can make everybody miserable that has to change the channel. So I'm keeping everything down here below this area. So I guess that's the curse of having a big TV over your fireplace. I like it, but it does infringe on your decorating for those of us that like to decorate the mantle. So let me put a few nails in here because this board is so heavy. I bend the nails as I'm putting them in, and I'll be back with you once I have that in. All right, so rather than nails, I actually used screws because this board is so heavy. It bends the nails, to tell you the truth. You can see I was working up a sweat. I had to take my jacket off. But anyway, so here it is. I put like 6 or 7 screws in here. And then what I did is I'm using Christmas garland as my base. Now, I'm not fluffing it. It looks kind of crummy like that, but it's for the background, and it's to hold what I'm going to put in there. So that's the next step. You get your board, if that's what you want to do. Put your screws in or your nails, whatever works better for you. And then I just wrap the garland around each one of those screws. And now I think I'm going to add a little bit of light to this. Okay, so I'm going to put some lights in here. I'm going to use red for Valentine's Day. Groundbreaking, isn't it? Red lights, wow. So anyway, what I do, I'm going to use 100 of these red mini lights. And what I did was I have my plug over here, and I counted to 50, and I put it right in the middle here. And then I counted to, I didn't have to count because there was only 50 left. And I attach it to the other end. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly put them in there. I'll show you that as soon as I do it. Okay, so there you go, 100 red mini lights. They look pink in the video. They are red, I promise you, they're not pink. I used red. And what I'm going to do now is I have, which I got from my Michael's grab bag haul. I got so much great stuff when we did that. We did it twice, and I missed it last year. I don't know how I missed it, but I'm trying to keep on top of it this year. But if any of you out there know when Michael's is going to have their grab bag, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is it's Valentine's Day, right? I'm going to use red roses. How pretty is that? And I'm going to use white roses like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to distribute them through there, and I'm not going to do it on the camera because then all you do is see my back, but you'll get the idea because I do red and white. I'm going to do all the red first. I'll show you that, and then I'll do all the white. All right, so as you can see, what I did was I have my red roses in, and the way I did is that I started in the center, as I always do, and then what I do, sorry, I look disheveled mess, flower up, and then flower down, then flower up, and then down, up, down, and then the same thing on the other side. Then I came back in, and in between, I put at a different angle in some on the top, some on the bottom, some on the top, some on the bottom. Then here in the center, I had this one that's a little bit larger, and make sure it's not up there. I don't want it near there. Push it down. And then I had these elongated things. So I'll show you closer. I know it's hard for you to see, but I have one here and one here, then one here and one here, and then one hanging on the bottom over there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the white, and it'll make all those red pop. All right, so now I put the white flowers in there, and you can see how it makes the red pop, because dark looks darker when there's light there. So you need light to make the dark look darker, if that makes any kind of sense to you. So now what I need to do is I need to make it look like it's Valentine's Day. I mean, roses are Valentine's Day, but everybody thinks, the iconic heart is for Valentine's Day. So I have these dollar store ornaments, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little hook up here, and then with some nylon wire I'm going to hang them at different levels down here, just to drive home the idea that it's Valentine's Day. Okay, so now I have 3 of these, which are slightly different. So I'm going to put one in the middle and one on each end. So see what I did here is I put this is like a regular Christmas tree hook. I put it inside this because it's styrofoam. And then I have the piece of nylon wire. Can you see? You can barely see it. And then I took another Christmas hook like this right here, and I tied it to that. And now I can just hang it. And I'm going to put one here in the center. Okay, and I'm going to do one on each end of those. Okay, so I put those ones that are a little bit different. I have one over here, and then one in the center here, and I have one down the other end. Let me move the camera a little bit. Sorry. And then what I did was I had the other ones, and so I started higher here, went up here, and then down here, and then higher, and then we have this one, and I did the same thing on the other side. And like I said, I'll show you later when I take the camera off. I also have these tiny little picks from the Dollar Tree as well. They're old. I don't even know if they still have them. They might. And I just put those hearts in here. But something's missing in here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some frosted ficus leaves, because it is February, it is winter, and I think that might just add a little bit of glistening effect to it. I was almost going to add beads, but then it would have been, too much or too over the top. So I think I'm going to go up in the attic now, and I'm going to get my I just put them away, right? I just put them away for Christmas. So I'm going to get those and see how that looks in there. Okay, so for those of you that know me, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know me, I have these ficus leaves. So what I did was I put Mod Podge on them, and I put glitter on them so that they look icy. And I use these mostly Christmas time. But I thought it just might give just the sparkle that we need in this piece. So I'm going to put those in, but I'm going to do it off the camera because I don't want you to hear me cursing, because I'm going to have to disrupt some of those flowers. All right, so I put those frosted leaves in there, and again, I'll show you that in a second close-up. The next thing I'm going to add, the last thing I'm adding to this is, for those of you that know Marianne, she loves cherubs. So we ordered these online, and what I did was I took those picks from the dollar store, and I hot glued it. So there's one. Look how cute that is. He has to sit on something. And then here's another one with little legs crossed, and he has to sit on something too. And here is another one with laying down, where I put the heart. Now I have 6 of these in total, so I'm going to put those up there right now. Okay, buddy, thanks so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't, it's free to do so. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. I'm always happy to hear from you. I read through them all. Sometimes I send a heart to you. Sometimes I can actually answer you, but know that I do read them and I appreciate it very, very much. So I hope you like this. I hope I promised you I wasn't going to be corny, and I don't think it is corny, and it doesn't look like elementary school either. So that was my goal. So take care, everybody, and I'll be seeing you really soon with something. I'm always doing something. Take care. Bye-bye.